Okay. Video games are back on the menu. Welcome back. Let's see. Let's lower this down to approximately... yay big. Okay. So I've been doing some time estimations on the work that I have remaining for the store page, and I think the actual game design stuff that I want for a trailer will only take a few weeks at most. The big thing is going to be the speech bubbles, because I'm estimating 2 days. I think it could be more, though. In fact, I should probably just put 4 days here. No, let's say 3 days. Split the difference. Because, yeah, so today, tomorrow, Saturday. That'd be fair. Yeah, because the main thing with the... because the dialogue actually works. Go to Kitty Found a Camera. Actually, wait, is it all... okay. And these are two separate things. Little sounds in, like, the camera, like... let's say UI when talking about a photo. So basically, move the photo to the corner. List the topics. Yeah, okay. And there's other little reworks that I want to do, like anytime a character is talking, they play a little warble animation. That'd be something I want to add. But okay. So yeah, now we have these little bubbles. This is what I did yesterday with all the speech bubbles and stuff. So yeah, today I want to do all about position and size. Because the big problem right now is that the speech bubbles have like a very... like it's kind of impossible to make them sized the way that I want. And also they're kind of jittery. And I also just need to figure out how to position them better. Especially when a character is off screen. I want to make it so that the bubble is always constrained to be on screen no matter what. And I think, well, that'd be pretty easy, actually. Oh yeah, it's dark. Why is it dark? It should be light. Hang on, I will solve this problem immediately. I'll just sit in a dining chair that looks very uncomfortable for about 6 hours. There we go. Now it's a bit lighter. Okay, so let's talk to her. Yeah, so you can see the big issue is it doesn't look right. 1, too tall. 1, too big. Well, yeah. Too big, too tall. Uses way too much space because it's basically trying its best to estimate the amount of area, but for some reason, these rich text labels will sometimes just force the box to be much larger than it needs to be. And I don't understand if it's something to do with, well, I guess it's not buttons. Wait, no, don't I have mail? Oh yeah, I have the mail. Hang on, I'm gonna make sure that I can't do that. So if we do that, what the fuck? UI.dialog.show text. Oh, I see. Hang on. That's because my dialog viewer no longer has the function show text. Because that was a thing specifically for the box dialog. Show text pass. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. Basically, I want to make it so that you can't complete this quest unless you actually know what she's saying. Because somebody accidentally completed it last time and then they didn't feel like they got anything from being a gamer with Apollo. So I want to have that basically here. So we're going to say format F, is that my mail? And then we're going to have, if you do not know the gamer stat. So not game get stat Apollo gamer. Actually, let's have it be, I like having affirmative things as the stat, so yes, no. Otherwise, then I'm just gonna have shrug. Okay. Hope somebody understands me soon. And also, I kind of want to make it so that, so we go to the low res font. Can I do any sort of import settings? I want this to be a bit smaller. Scaling mode enabled integer, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so I don't know if that's anything interesting. So... okay. And then what I'm going to have is this format F. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, and now this, okay, there we go. So yeah, now the player, if the player is actually able to read the text, they can be like frustrated that Kitty is not able to understand her. Let's try this again. Okay, so if I do this, is that my mail? Huh? Was that a question? What? So yeah, now we can do two things. You know, I think I really should just have the buttons be, can I have multi-line text in a button? I think that was the main problem that I had. Is that there was no way of resizing a button. Godot, I'm trying to think here, because yeah. I want some sort of minimum line width. Because yeah, I could see there's several problems. One is the fact that small text, the button is too small, so the text carries over it. Also, I just realized, I would still really like the ability to have theme overrides on the button, which I just realized I can do that pretty easily, because I'm already doing list replies, getting the children here. This is a button. And what I'm going to do here, I don't think I need this. I'm going to keep this here just in case I need it. What I'm going to do is b.set theme, or theme, what is it? Add theme stylebox override. I hate the way that Godot handles theme overrides, because now I have to go to the theme. I have to figure out what all of the style buttons, like the style boxes on a theme are. Var e equals style box empty new. One, two, three, four. Okay, let's see this. So this will remove the outlines around them. So if we go back to this, so yeah, now it's a bit off, you know, out of whack, but at the very least, it's not as obvious what's happening there. Let's try some larger text, though. Yeah, so we can see basically the entire scope of the problem in these three replies. Or like just on this screen. The box in the top left, way too big. This one, way too big. This one also too big. This one way too small. And I guess what I have to do is I have to get the font that is on the... Okay, let's do that. Basically, I need to go to resize. So we're going to have to get the box itself. When we do this, we're going to do var e equals r dot get... No, control dot... Let's call this, like, font. Font. Rich text label. Oh, God. This shit is miserable. Yeah, Godot's entire, like, theme, like, API is awful to deal with, because now I have to figure out how do I actually get the font for, like, the normal thing. I think it's theme, get default, or, like, theme, get font. I think this is the font that we get, so returns the default font from the first matching theme in the tree, if that theme has a valid theme default font value. Okay, so we'll hope that that's the correct font for this label. And then what we can do is font dot get size. Okay, and then we do area dot No. This is control.text. But I need to make sure, because this is BB code, so it is unadvised to use plus equal. Okay, yeah, because it replaces a whole string called slowdown. Use append text. Okay, so I need the processed text, though. So can we get... How do we get the actual, like, displayed text? Because I don't want any of the controls that were in it. I don't think we're going to be able to get it. Godot rich text label, get the, let's see this. Rich text label, get visible text. Hmm. Um. Processed text. Hmm. Well, what if I just don't bother? And we estimate the size based on the rich text, or like the raw text. Because yeah, the problem here is it gets longer the more markup I have, so I basically need to, I think, just strip anything that has square brackets in it, which I guess I could do. So we're going to say to do if I want strip markup from text. But okay, this is now var size equals this. So get string size. Single line string, kerning advanced and subpixel positioning. Okay. And get multi-line string size. How would this work? Alignment width, font size, max lines, break flags, justification flags, direction orientation. So how does this... Okay. So we can get the width here. I'd really like to get a... well, we're going to do... This will be text size. So we're no longer going to be using this. Actually, I think that means that I can do... here where we do r.size, I can try just using text size. And basically then we get the actual size of the text here, and we constrain that to an area. And actually, it should probably be if the text size is less than... Let's just do that. Well... No, that'd be fine. Okay, S1 is this. This is going to be... Let's just do... If S1 is less than text size dot y, then what we do is actually we set SV equal to text size, else we set all this stuff. And actually this means that I can set the size of the box I can do this resizing before I do all this stuff. And then we're going to do actually... Yeah, let's do that actually. Equals false? No. Tween equals true. Because what we're going to do is if tween... We do all that stuff. Oh yeah, also. SV vector 2. There we go. Oh, and these should be up here. Okay. But basically, if making the aspect area would make the lines smaller than one line, we just make it one line of text. Otherwise, we do all this stuff. And actually, I think what we can do is... that's fine. We'll keep that there. Okay, if we're tweening it, else what we do is just going to be control.custom minimum size equals this, and then size equals this. And actually, I'm going to say, let's call this setup. So basically, setup is now going to be different. Because this will only resize control for called on creation. And this one, we do that. Okay. And basically, I believe what I can do here is when I set the size right in the speech bubble somewhere else, right here, player view bubble, when we list replies, we're actually going to do thought reply, or thought resize be true. No, b dot get child 0. Because we don't even need to get the, like, we don't even need to wait for it to render anymore, basically. Okay. That feels right. Then we don't need that. Okay. So basically now what we do is when we create this box, we get the text itself. We don't even worry about what the rendered size is going to be. And we immediately set our custom size to be whatever I think is appropriate for that. Based on the size of the text and the aspect ratio that I want the text box to be. So now if we try that, it almost... Oh, but we need the actual font that's used on it. Okay. So when we resize a rich text, okay, that's gonna suck. Because, yeah, we need to get the actual font that's being used here. Because when we go back up to multi-line button, or whatever it is... Yeah, because her text is much larger. So yeah, add theme, font, override, normal font. Okay. Get theme, font, override. So how do we, like, add... How do we get the actual font that's being used to render the text? So theme resources change the controller's appearance. Theme of a control affects blah. Theme items are not object properties. That means you can't access their values using object.get and object.set. Instead, use get theme underscore and add get blah. Get theme font. So what on earth does get... How does this work? So returns a font from the first matching theme in the tree if that theme has a font item. How do we get the override font? Okay. Can we just not get the theme font? So good-o. Get override font. I think my big question is, what is the name here? Is that this name? So if we go back to player... Oh no, dialog viewer bubble. So is it this, then? So I think if I did... If we go back to resize... So we're going to do control.get theme font. That... Oh wait, but this only works... Oh wait, no, this doesn't just work with replies. This should work with everything. Right, because I keep forgetting this resize function is called both for buttons and for normal stuff. Okay, try this again. Okay, so it still doesn't work. So yeah, we can see that that doesn't work here. So, okay. So for the current control, its local overrides are considered first, then the assigned theme. Okay, good. After the current control, each parent control with its assigned theme is considered. Okay, good. No matching theme is found, then the custom project theme and the default theme are used. Okay. Returns a color from the first matching theme in the tree. Okay. So we do get the overrides. So that means we should be getting the font here. Okay, let's see what it actually says. So, okay, interesting. First issue is the fact that it's not actually being called. Oh, and I know exactly why that's being the case, because I don't set it here. I need to do speech. Basically, we need to go through the text here. When we set the text, then we do speech dot underscore resize. I forgot to do this. Text. Oh wait, no, speech.text true. Or no, and that should be speech.rich text. Actually, this should be like apply size. Wait, doesn't that already do this? Hang on, if we go to text here. Oh, I see. Setup equals false. Setup. Okay, so actually, is there any other place where I call apply size? I think I don't call it anywhere else. Setup equals false. Setup. Okay. And then when we set a reply, we do this. Oh, wait, no. Here we actually do use false. Okay, so this means now bubbles don't actually, like speech bubbles, will not use the tween. Instead, they'll instantly size to where they are, which I guess makes more sense. Okay, so what is the actual size here? 1.1. Oh, wait, and now we don't actually need... Now this should not be there. Yeah, okay. Because now, before the first time we set the frame, we actually do all this. And then when we go to here, we don't do this here as well. Oh, wait, no, we do that there. Okay. So I think now, okay. Current value, SV. So what is SV? So 135 by 77, that seems completely nonsensical, because if we go to text size here, it's 876 by 15. So that means the square root of that is, okay, the square root of aspect ratio. I guess that, okay, I guess that does make sense. And this is less than that, okay. And so square root, so yeah, this is like our min dimension. I feel like the big thing is, though, this doesn't feel like it's nearly correct. What if we get it to an even number of lines? So basically, like, text size.y is the height of a line on this font, typically, probably. Actually, it'd be font dot height, get height. Oh, but we don't have the fucking font size. Right, because we need to get this as well. So, I don't know, we'd do 0, -1, because, yeah, okay, so the font size is wrong, first of all. Control.get font size. Normal font. Okay, hopefully that works. Returns a font size from the first matching blah with the specified name and theme type. How do we get the actual, like, font size that's going to be used to render the thing, though? You know what? I'm just going to try get theme default font size, maybe. Wait, also there's a warning here for something. I don't know what it is. Oh, okay, I see. It's because that horizontal alignment is something else. But okay, let's see if this SV is bigger. Okay, now it's much bigger. 452 by 258 seems a lot more reasonable. It's better, I think, because it is wider. Okay, what's this font then? 211 by 120. That is not correct at all. Well, actually, that is correct. It's just not respecting the size. Because, yeah, 211 by 112 would mean that it's about this wide, but it's like half this tall. Or like, you know, half as tall as it is wide. So like here, thereabouts. And that'd be perfectly reasonable. But it's just not working. Okay, so for this one, 130 by 42, and that's because I think that was here. No. Okay, 116 by 49. Oh, right, okay. It's because this... Okay. We need to do this, actually. So we still need this, but we do sv.y. Okay. Is it gonna... There we go. Took like 3 tries. Okay, now it looks worse. So, okay, now I think what I need to do is I need to go back to my thing here, disable the minimum size, and we somehow need to force the button to be, like, constrained as small as possible. Go back to the bubble here. When we do all this stuff, we're going to do b.get child 0 rt rich text label rt fit content false. And also I'm going to eventually remove this here, I think, because I don't want that here. Yeah, remove this because I never use it. Okay. So I think now I should be able to manage its size and stuff. So yeah, we do not fit the content. We manually resize it instead based on the text and my own algorithm. So that way I can control the aspect ratio of the text. But it's still not working right. Because, yeah, this thing here, 211 by 120.9. And it's just not the right size. It's just not the right size. So, Godot control is not resized properly. Hmm. Is too big, I guess. I'll just... Transform size becomes twice as large on play without editing anything. Not really what I need. From enlarging, if their children are too big. Okay, actually, yeah, let's test the button. So how do I set up the button, and can I make it... I'm going to do, basically, go into here. Go into replies. Add a button. Add a rich text label. Oh wait, we don't even need any of this, because I don't need to deal with buttons yet. Buttons are more complicated, because we literally just need to test... Not that, and not that, but the speaker. And actually, I'm going to move this so that I can, like... How do I lock it again? This? There we go. Put it over here. We don't need to do anything with the margins or anything. Okay. So what happens if we do this over and over? So we can see that that's all well and good. So yeah, it's doing what I want it to do, which is just get longer. But then the problem is, when I set the font... What if we disable fit content? Oh! Right, because I'm looking at the speakers box. Okay. Yeah, disable fit content there. Okay, I keep mixing up all of my different things because I manually create the rich text labels, but only when I'm making the reply. Otherwise, it's just one object. Okay, so now... So we can see the core issue, which is that the text is too big there. I love OBS. I love Godot. I love how my computer will just stop functioning. Okay, are we live again? OBS crashed. It looks like it took Godot with it. No, I think Godot crashed and took OBS with it. It also took all my monitors for a brief while. But okay, I'm glad that, like, UI work is, like, what's gonna cripple the entire development process. But okay. So, this one is fine doing what it does because we don't need to change the width of it at any point. And this one, I need to figure out how to make sure that the dialogue is properly sized such that it gets it. And it seems like it's kind of, I can't just get the font that is being used and the font size that is being used to render the text. Control a rich text label. Get font and font size. So yeah. Question is there any way to check the width of the text and resize the rich label, or have it automatically resize the text without coding it manually and through checking the width? So as a scroll to line, So there must be a way to access the number of lines. Isn't ideal? Yeah, that's definitely not ideal. Even when the text does not fit, get visible line count returns 1. Using get font, normal font, but the problem is this doesn't get you the size of the font. So, control get theme font, normal font. Can we do var f size equals control dot get theme font size, normal font? Maybe this will get something that I can do, and then we can do f size here. And then here we have, like, whatever the heck we have. Dot, I don't know, who cares? Left? Okay. Take your time, kiddo. Okay, so what is our output here? I don't care. Okay, try this again. Actually, let's make sure. Okay, good. I think it's the debugger. I think it's frequently starting Godot with the debugger. It sometimes just, like, crumples and dies, and it kills half the computer with it. But okay. SV is 452 by 258. That feels reasonable. What is F size? F size is 48. That feels right. The font is something. Probably this font. Low res. Okay. It's the low res font. That's good. So it's the correct font and the correct font size, but then it's just too small. It's just not the correct... Hang on. If we go to options, if I go to display... Okay, my text size is 48. So now if we try this again, it's smaller because the font size is smaller. And so what is the deal with this? I think what I should do is I should get the line height. Var line height equals oh yeah. Or no. Font dot height f size. Okay, returns the total average font height. The real height of the string is context dependent and will be significantly different from the value returned by this function. Use only as a rough estimate. Then get the fucking line height from the font. That's a thing that's in the font. I'm gonna die. Okay, so that means that text size... This is probably our best bet for getting the height, even though I'm pretty sure this is also different. Okay, so line height there. No. I think the first thing that I should figure out is why is this so much smaller than it's supposed to be? Like, this custom minimum size is just a fraction of what it's supposed to be. Oh, and that's because this presumably has no bearing. Hang on, if we get this min size, if we get this to be like 100, or like, let's say just 500 or something. Okay. Okay, that does do what I want, where it forces the whole thing to be bigger. Okay. So that does do what I want. And that means that actually, I think we don't need to set the size. Oh wait, we don't set the size. Okay. So yeah, now my big problem is I don't know how to... So yeah, I think I need to do a better approximation. Yeah, line height equals text size.y. And then what we're going to do is we probably need some sort of min height here of basically like or like a maximum width per line or something like that. I don't know. But that max width needs to go up with the number of things. So yeah, basically, like, this is a nice size for that box. It would look worse if it was like this. So I'd want it to be like that. But then, if we get, like, 2 sentences in here, or we get another hello, I'd rather it be a little bit wider like that, probably. And then if we got the whole other sentence in here, we'd want it to be 3 lines. Which actually... Yeah, I think it's still what I'm thinking here. So what I'm actually going to do is... var lines equals SV divided by... So we're going to we're going to ceiling this. SV divided by text size.y. So this is like the number of lines that this should take up. And then SV... dot y is equal to let's do if lines equals 1 here. Else sv.y equals text size.y times lines. Okay. See if that works. Basically, that should round it up to the nearest whole number of lines. Okay. It didn't, though, because this needs to be y. Oh, wait, and I'm realizing now margin text actually needs to be here. What if we just don't have margin text here? Well, no, I do want that. And you know what? I'm just going to add that to here. Yeah, so we're going to have that there, and we're going to have this there. And this margin is now going to be like 1.5 or something. And actually, we don't even need this anymore. Because, yeah, now we just size up the whole thing. We don't size up the box itself. Because it's just a container in which everything else sits. Okay, so try this on for size. Okay, F12. Did that work? Was that what I needed? It feels like... Hang on. Double check this. No, okay. It still doesn't work, really. It's genuinely like stop. Okay, so Godot is just crashing repeatedly over and over every single time that I debug this particular thing. But I mean, what am I going to do? Not debug it? I got to figure out why the size is wrong. Because I think what it is, I think it is setting the correct size. But now the problem is, it's still just not respecting the size that I set for it. Actually, I guess I could just do control size equals vector 2, 0, 0. Okay. Because if we look at this, SV, okay, 397 by 240, so that looks good. Because we got 6 lines of text. Because our text size is 2330 by 40. And that's because it's a 40-point font now. Okay. And we see that here, 6 lines, fits nicely, fits like a glove, has just about the aspect ratio that I want there. We could probably do a little bit wider. Yeah, I'm going to say the actual ideal here is 1.61. It's the golden ratio, dare I say. And here it's 2 because Kitty is a bit more verbose. Okay. So I think what's happening is I'm going too fast with this debugger. And so if I press F12 here, it'll die because it'll come back to here again. Okay. But now we have 3 lines of text at 199 pixels wide. And that's okay, I think. And actually I'm going to say here 1.1 times text size. But okay. And then, in a shocking turn of events, OBS crashed again, and I didn't even send a goodbye message. So, enjoy the B-roll that I made, like, after this for social media. How do I turn this off? Hang on.